tell you what it's like to be a zero. Let me show you what it's like to always feel like I'm empty and there's nothing really real.
Been a while since I posted another review, right? Well, here I am with Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet. Let me go out and say off the bat that Wreck-It Ralph 1 is one of my favorite movies of all time. So, needless to say, the sequel had a lot to live up to. I was psyched when it got announced, and then the teaser dropped and it was okay. The teaser was pretty much just a bunch of internet gags, and I'd let it pass because it's a teaser, maybe you don't want to show the story yet. Then the first trailer dropped, and not only did it not give us anything about the plot, but it focused a lot on the Disney side of things. I mean, as a Disney fan, it's really cool to see all these Easter eggs together and Vanellope interacting with the princesses, but I didn't think it was a good thing to use a trailer on. It made me worried that Ralph Breaks the Internet would be more about Ralph joins Disney marketing. It felt too heavy-handed. Now, if it was the original premise, which was about Ralph and Vanellope visiting the defunct Disney Infinity website, then maybe this would work better, but because you generalize it to all of internet, this is not a good way to market your film. Finally, another trailer came out that showed us the plot, and it did get my interest up a bit more, but it still felt kinda cliché. So was the movie cliché? No, actually. In fact, the movie really surprised me. Before we get to the plot, though, let's talk about some of the other things about the movie. Visually, I think the movie's gorgeous. There's a lot of texture, there's a lot of detail in the characters compared to the last one, there's a lot more color, there's a lot more varieties in styles, and they really designed a really clever ways to how the internet looks and feels to people that are actually inside the digital world. There's a scene that is so accurate to internet gaming that I don't want to spoil because it is so funny. I couldn't stop laughing when that happened. And even seeing the Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars characters, I really like the style that they're going for. It's not quite exact as to the source material, but it's very much Wreck-It Ralph style, and it really fits. And let's not forget the video game cameos. They're still there. My boy Sonic got more screen time than he did in the last movie. That's an instant 10 out of 10 for me. I also want to talk about the score and how I'm glad Henry Jackman returned to compose it. Seeing old themes from the first movie return just adds that bit of consistency to really make a sequel shine. Now, in terms of the story, I had no idea the movie was going to go the way it was. One thing that is an improvement over the original is that it's not staying in one place for the majority of the time. A big problem with Wreck-It Ralph 1 is that you stay so much in Sugar Rush, you'd sometimes forget it's a video game movie. You'd think it's an adaptation of Candyland or something. Here we have Nosemores, Oh My Disney, BuzzTube, Slaughter Race, eBay. There's a lot more variety here. It lowers the risk of the movie getting too stale. The movie tries to either mock or stray away from typical Disney cliches as well. When I went into the movie, I expected certain things to happen, and they didn't. And what Disney replaced them with goes above and beyond my own expectations, with the biggest surprise being the development of both Ralph and Vanellope and their friendship. Their relationship is front and center in this movie, and everything about the internet, all the sites, it all revolves around how they grow. It's really hard to talk about this without spoiling the movie. All I can say is that the movie depicts friendship in a pretty realistic way. The movie plays it as it is. No sugarcoating. Dependency, possessiveness, differences in goals. These aspects of friendship is just as portrayed as the good parts. The movie becomes a cautionary tale as to what happens when a friendship becomes too toxic and how to mend it. And since audiences fell in love with the duality of Ralph and Vanellope since the first movie, it can be tough to watch. And that's the point. And I appreciate this movie for not pulling any punches. It's this aspect that makes me think that this movie could succeed the original. Now, I still consider the first my favorite. It's kind of hard for a sequel to really match the charm of the original. But I do think Ralph Breaks the Internet is a worthy sequel and definitely worth your time. I recommend it.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie.